We're actually doing it both on YouTube and Facebook today. So hello to everybody on YouTube and Facebook. We'll wait a few minutes to get everybody online. We're a few minutes late, I know, I'm sorry. We're trying to get everything figured out. There's always something new to figure out each time. So, do we have our regulars on YouTube?
Corey's on.
Corey's on. And let's see, Rick. Is Rick on? He's a regular.
Stephanie from North Carolina is on.
Oh, Stephanie. Hey, Stephanie. So, we'll give it a few more minutes. But if you can see around me, this is what we're working with today. The Maker. We've got the Maker here. So we're going to be using this as well as the EasyPress. We got it last week. I don't know if you guys saw the video that we posted of Bonnie unboxing it, but we got this last week and we're going to be using that today because I am Team Cricut. Team Cricut. So, and we've got Bonnie and Jessica helping with comments over here.
Hi guys. We're having a little.
Are you logged in?
A little trouble on YouTube, but I think we're fixing it.
Okay. Okay, so I guess we'll get started. We've got a few people on, so we'll go ahead and get started. What we're making today is a Halloween banner. Is it the last day of September? No, tomorrow is the last day of September. So you gotta get your Halloween stuff ready. So we're gonna make a banner for Halloween. So I've already cut some of it out, and this is just the remnant section at Hobby Lobby or wherever, your fabric store. It's faux leather. So the fabric, vinyl. And that's what we're gonna use for our banner. A nice spooky banner. And I've also got most of the stuff cut out, but I am gonna cut a couple of them out over here on the Maker to show you. So, let me go ahead and cut. I've got 2 letters left. And since it has the other blade in it right now, I'm gonna cut the letters that we have. Helps to turn it on. And if there's any questions, comments as we go along, let me know. We'd be happy to stop and answer any questions. Okay, just bringing up my letters.
We have Dorinda from Austria.
Oh, wow. Hey, Dorinda. It's gotta be late for you, or early, one of the two. Okay, so it's getting all set up. Just waiting for it to connect. It's been a minute since I've used it. Okay, and this is the glitter heat transfer vinyl that I've got on here.
Jennifer asked if you have the Silhouette Cameo 3, do you feel the Maker is worth the purchase?
I'm going to be biased, Jennifer, because I'm Team Cricut, but you've got, if you do a lot of stuff with fabric, the bonus to the Maker is the rotary blade, and I'll show you that in a minute. That's the big bonus, and it's got a lot more pressure and force to cut thicker things with it. So if you do a lot with fabric and thicker materials, then there is a bonus to buying that. Okay. Okay, so it's got the regular blade in here now, the fine point blade, and it's ready to cut.
Jennifer Smith says she loves her EasyPress.
She's a repeat too, Jennifer Smith. I've seen her name before. It's just on the regular speed. I could have done it on the faster speed for this one since it's a pretty simple letter, but
Should get really up close to the blade.
all of the machines are just mesmerizing to watch. I could sit there and just watch them cut. I don't know what it is about it, but there we go.
Laura says because of the EasyPress, she was able to make a shirt before Zumba today.
Oh, nice. It's very handy and lightweight and easy to use.
What project you're making again?
The project is a banner. I'm doing a spooky banner for Halloween. And as soon as I finish cutting the last piece, then I'll start laying the stuff out in front of me. But kind of weeding the hard way. So I've got some more of our letters here. And now I'll show you the other blade.
I feel like this one needs a drum roll or something.
So the pieces of fabric that I'm working with, they're larger pieces. So we have the 12 by 24 mat that's available for these. And just lay those down on your mat. You can either smooth it out with your hand or the fancy.
Jessica Link says, hey Expressions Vinyl, I am wanting to use glitter HTV. What setting do I need my iron on? My iron doesn't have a temperature option, it has material options.
For an iron, we use just under a cotton setting. And you can always test it on once you turn your iron on the carrier sheet. If the carrier sheet starts to curl up, it's too hot. So just turn it down from there, but just right under the cotton setting.
What do you do to keep your mat sticky?
The fabric mat? The question was, what do I do to keep the mat sticky? I haven't had a problem with it yet to not be sticky. After a while, they're not gonna last forever. You're gonna have to replace these after a while, but make sure you clean off any fibers and threads after you use it.
Mary wants to know, what Cricut machine are you using?
This is the Maker, the newest one that Cricut has.
Dan
let me-
suggested use a lint roller on your mat to help keep the gook off of it, and maybe it will keep the stick on.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Somebody suggested using a lint roller to get some of the stuff off the mat. And that is a good idea. Let me just switch this. There we go.
How much is the Maker?
The Maker, the question was how much is the Maker? They are starting at $3.99 and they're available most places that carry the Cricut now. So on the Cricut website, on the Cricut, like JoAnn's, they are launching on HSN in a couple of days. I don't remember what day, but they're launching on HSN too, so they'll be available there.
So Mary
Okay.
says, have you cut fabric with any other machines in the past? Like, how do you cut fabric with a silhouette or?
With those, you can cut fabric. You do have to put like heat and bond or stabilizer on the back to do it. Okay, so now this one I'm going to switch to the rotary blade. Lock that one in place, and then get ready to watch it.
Joanne and Jennifer both say that it's October 3rd for HSN. For the
Okay,
maker.
I knew it was a couple days, just coming up a couple days. Okay, I'm just waiting for it. There we go. And this one I'm using just a heavy fabric setting. And it's ready to go. This one's fun to watch too. It's checking the blade, making sure everything's in there right, and then it'll come back out and start cutting.
Joyce is signing in from Scotland.
Oh wow, somebody from Austria and Scotland.
Do you know if the Cricut Explorer will cut 0.8-inch plexiglass or
I am not 100% sure on that size or that thickness. The question is if it would cut a certain thickness of plexiglass or plastic, and I'm not 100% sure, but they do have it listed on the Cricut website.
Angelina is wondering if the Cricut Air does the same thing as the Maker.
The Air will cut fabrics, however, the Maker is designed to have a lot more force in it, and it has the rotary blade. The Air does not have the rotary blade, and you can cut a lot thicker materials. It's heavier duty than the Air because it needs that extra force to cut those different types of materials. On the Cricut website, you see it cutting through wood and different things like that.
So Trudy's asking if the rotary blade would work in the expressions.
No,
expression.
the rotary blade only works in the Maker. And you can see, I'll show you in a minute when I take that out. So we've got one more banner there. One more there. One more to cut.
And Corey says, do you have to use a mat with the Cricut Maker?
On the Cricut Maker, you do have to use a mat. Next time, when this one starts cutting, you can get close and see there's nowhere to put anything underneath that, and you're going to need the mat to stabilize the fabrics or different things you're working with, so you do need the mat with the Maker.
what are you cutting out? What fabric?
This is, somebody's asking what fabric I'm cutting out. It's faux leather, just in the fabric section. So it's kind of a thicker material. It's faux leather or vinyl, the other kind of vinyl.
Would it cut a rhinestone template?
Will what cut it right?
Will the Maker cut that small?
Yeah, the Maker will do tiny intricate cuts. It will do larger cuts. Okay, that's gonna cut this one out.
Shirley Stewart is watching. Hi, Shirley!
It is so fascinating to watch. You can see in there the little tiny rotary blade as it cuts through. Okay. So now this one is done.
Darlene Ellison says hello.
Hi, Darlene. Okay, so there we go. There's the last piece on that one. So it's really handy. You can use the maker to cut this, to cut fabrics with the rotary blade, and you can also use it to cut vinyl, paper, anything that you could cut with your other machines, you can still cut with the maker.
So when you're cutting vinyl or paper, would you use the rotary blade or the regular blade?
That is a good question. The question was if cutting vinyl or paper, would I use the rotary blade? And I would save the rotary blade for fabric and still cut vinyl, paper, anything like that with the regular blade. The extra fine, the regular blade. Okay, move that out of the way. Do our other fun stuff. I don't need this anymore. Okay, so now we get to use the EasyPress and do all of our different banner pieces. First, I need to cut this one down. I didn't.
Tina says, just got my Cricut Maker yesterday for my birthday. Her birthday is today. Happy birthday.
Yay!
And one of the best presents her husband has gotten her.
Congratulations. That is an awesome present.
That's good.
Okay. So we've heard where some people are visiting from or stopping by from. Where are other people?
Texas, California, Colorado, Minnesota, pretty much everywhere.
Everywhere. Within the country, outside of the country, everywhere.
Virginia,
Virginia.
New York,
Wow.
St. Louis, Missouri.
Can we get all 50 states?
Yeah.
We should track that out, everybody.
North Carolina, Illinois, Iowa, San Diego, California, Nebraska, Kentucky, Rhode Island, Indiana, another Kentucky, New Hampshire, Miami,
Start all that photo from the store.
Storefront, Georgia, Huntington Beach.
So, you know what I just did? It's a complete rookie mistake.
You forgot to
It happens to all of us.
Just turn it upside down. It's an S, right? Is it an S?
Yeah.
See, this is how it would iron onto the... It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Bonnie? Somebody give me some more purple. So see, it happens to all of us. Rookie mistake. I did not even think about it because I cut the rest of them out the other day. Actually, no, Jessica, there's one on my...
Ooh, you got one right here? Oh, you do have one right here.
It's already cut.
Oh.
Man.
I cut it yesterday. I completely forgot.
Did
So
you marry yesterday?
I did. I mirrored yesterday. Let's see. I
Happens.
just have to check. Yes, I did mirror yesterday. So now you know what happens to all of us.
Take a poll. How many people have forgotten to mirror
Yeah.
HTV?
How many of you out there have forgotten to mirror? I know it's more than just me.
Me. Kathy
Does the
has.
Cricut Explorer cut fabric very well?
The question was, does the Cricut Explorer cut fabric? And it does. You just have to do a backing to it. So whether it's the heat and bond, interfacing, so different type of backing that'll stabilize the fabric. And they do have a fabric blade for it that you can use for the Explorer. Okay, see, never happened. Never happened.
You're not alone. There's several on here.
Yep. Okay, now for the EasyPress. I waited and didn't turn it on to show you how simple it is to use. So, just power, change the temp. I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna go up to 305. Since it's not gonna be washed or anything like that, I don't have to worry about all of that. And the timer, I may not even use the timer, but it just takes a few seconds. I'll go to 10. And then start. And see, it's already jumping up. The temperature's already jumping up. So that's how fast it'll heat up.
Suzanne wants to know if you need to fray the edges on fabric after cutting it with the maker.
The question is, do you need to fray the edges on the fabric after cutting it?
Yeah, will they fray, I guess?
will it?
Oh, it's the same as cutting it with your scissors or cutting it with the rotary blade that a lot of sewers use as they cut fabric. So it's gonna be the same. This one doesn't fray just because of the type of fabric it is, but it just depends on your fabric. But it's cutting it the exact same way you would if you were gonna use it to sew.
Can you compare your EasyPress with the heat press?
The question was, can we?
Yeah.
Will you give a little comparison?
Oh, yeah, there's, the difference is of course, the area, the size that it is. The EasyPress is only this big and the heat presses can get bigger. It's compact, you can move it around, whereas a heat press is kind of big and bulky. But the heat press has the set pressure and different things like that. This one, depending on what you're using, you may have to add a little bit of extra pressure. But it all kind of comes down to the space and what you've got.
This does heat up way faster than the heat press.
Yeah, the EasyPress heats up a whole lot faster. It's almost heated, it's almost there. And the heat press would take about 10 minutes probably to get up to this temperature.
Nikki says, I got a scan and cut a couple months ago and learned all about vinyl from your videos, watching the UK.
yay! Okay, so it's ready. The heat press is all set and ready to go. So I was up here practicing the other day and trying to figure out how this would work with the vinyl. And since this doesn't have the mat yet, Cricut doesn't have the mat available for it, I needed something to press on. I tried one of our cutting mats and it just melted it a little bit. It was an old one, so it was okay. It melted it a little bit. So I decided to make my own mat. And this is what I did. We had a Teflon sheet returned to us because it was folded. And I took it and wrapped it around a board and just like a little package. Taped it up to it, and this is what I've been using for the EasyPress. You can get a bigger piece, but we have these Teflon sheets available on our website. You can get one of these, wrap it around a piece of wood, and you've got your press for that. Or you've got, a hard surface at home to put it on, a lot of different things. But this was just perfect and the perfect size.
Would a cookie sheet work?
Yeah, the question is would a cookie sheet work, and I don't see why not. Just as long as it's something that'll withstand the heat that you're putting on it.
Yeah, you wouldn't want plastic underneath it.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna lay my letters out. I am gonna use the multi-use paper on this because the heat on the black vinyl, it stuck a little bit to the EasyPress. It didn't stick and melt to it, it just stuck a little bit, so I'm gonna use that. And then just,
Bonnie said somebody on YouTube wants to know if it'll make pancakes.
Yes.
The question is if it'll make pancakes. You probably could. I don't know that you'd want to. You wouldn't want to use it for your vinyl after you made pancakes with it, but you could. So there's the S.
Is there a pancake setting?
There is not. You might want to get with Cricut and see if they could come up with a pancake setting, but you probably could. This way. I think you could do a grilled cheese. I don't know if you've seen the movie.
That's what somebody just suggested.
Benny and June?
Quesadillas.
Yeah, quesadillas would work because you could just flip it over and quesadillas. Do that on a cookie sheet, on a baking sheet, and do your grilled cheese and your quesadillas. I always forget to put the timer on. I don't think I need all the time. There's the next
Okay,
one.
Deanna wants to know when you're using the EasyPress if they're recommending our time settings and heat or Cricut's time settings and heat. That's a good question.
Oh yeah, the question is if we're using our settings or the Cricut ones. And I'm actually using our settings since it's not the Cricut glitter that I'm using the Caesar glitter. So I'm using our heat settings for this. But if you're using a different type of heat transfer vinyl, then you'd want to go off the settings that it's recommended for that. So always follow with what type of vinyl you're using.
And are you applying pressure to it?
I am, question is if I'm applying pressure. I am applying just a little bit of pressure, but not a lot because there's some weight to it. Okay, I'm gonna remember the timer. So you won't need to apply a whole lot of pressure. There's just, and it's not heavy. This isn't heavy, but it is weighted, so it's gonna give a lot of pressure to it anyway. Oops, that wasn't long enough. Okay. The next one.
We should tell them to share this with their friends right now.
Oh yeah, if you're out there on YouTube or Facebook, share this with your friends. If they've had a question about whether or not they want the EasyPress or just a question on how to use heat transfer, go ahead and hit the share down below and share. We would love it and appreciate it. I forgot the timer again. It's one thing I'm not used to. The heat press has the heat press that we use has an automatic timer, so that's one thing I'm not used to on this one. It looks like I need to hit that one again for a minute, for a couple seconds. Keep forgetting the timer.
How big of a project can you use the press on?
It's a good question. How big of a project? Mine fits perfectly underneath the size of the EasyPress. You can do a bigger project with it. You just have to do it a couple different times. Just move along doing it a couple different times. But you can do a large project with it. Just move it along a couple different times.
Can you talk about the stand that it's in?
Oh yeah. This stand, it withstands the heat, and that's where you'd want to set it at all the time if you're not using it. And it comes with the EasyPress, but it withstands the heat and just allows it to kind of sit in there. But that's nice too because it's all compact in there together and it doesn't take up a lot of room. I remember the timer that time. Woohoo! I've really been following it, but I remembered it. Okay. So how many out there have the EasyPress? And what are your thoughts on it? I like it because it's compact. I like the heat press too, but I like the EasyPress because it's so compact. If you don't have the space for a big heat press, this is a great option because you don't have to worry about the holes that an iron has, and it's got more surface area than an iron does. It's a great option.
Jamie says you guys have the best job.
We do have a great job. Okay. Got the timer again.
Kathy asks, so you don't need a Teflon sheet with an EasyPress?
The question is, you don't need a Teflon sheet. This board has a Teflon sheet on it just to protect the bottom. You don't necessarily need one on top. I do because of this fabric I was a little concerned about, so I'm using it for that. But if you've got your carrier sheet, that acts as the sheet on top. This needs just a tiny bit longer. And this one's not getting the full temperature or time, where it's not going to be washed. It's not going to have to worry about any of that. I'm not doing the full amount of time. But if you're doing a t-shirt or something like that, you'll want to follow what the time is for those. Okay, now for the little ones. They have either spider webs, and I'll put a link, once this is out, I'll put a link on the files that all these are from. They're fun, different spider webs. So the sign was in the orange and green and purple, and now the spider webs are silver. And the spiders are, I can't remember that color, Jessica, the darker silver?
Black silver.
Black silver?
I'll look.
I can't remember. We'll look it up. But they're the darker silver, kind of a black silver look to them. Since the background was black, I still wanted them to be different than the spider webs. But
Morgan says, for t-shirts, would you recommend an EasyPress instead of an actual heat press?
It depends on what you're going to do with it. If you're doing a lot of t-shirts, if you want more surface area, then you would want to go do a heat press maybe. But you can do the same thing with the EasyPress as you can with the heat press. So for me, it all comes down to the size and the convenience of it. Okay. Let me put this one on. There. There we go. Let's actually remember the timer this time.
Tanya wants to know if you are doing anything with the tray.
No, that will do.
No.
Yeah.
The question is if I'm doing anything with the tray. I'm not. It just was cute to put everything in. And you can get this at Walmart for $2.97. It's just a plastic tray. I was thinking of putting something on it to make kind of one of those spooky silhouette pictures. But today it's just to hold my vinyl.
Mackenzie's wondering how much the EasyPress sells for.
The EasyPress, I believe it's $149. I think it starts at $149.
Kimberly got one 2 weeks ago and loves it for the space.
See, that's what I've heard a lot. People love it for the space, the size it is and the space, where you can still do the bigger t-shirts, still do the bigger projects, but it's so convenient and portable. You don't have to have somebody come and move your heat press for you or struggle moving it to a different spot if you need to move it. So I have to tell you what I did with this one. This is not this web's carrier sheet. It has little teeny tiny holes in it, and I didn't want to weed those. So what I did instead was slowly pulled the web up first and then just moved it to a blank carrier sheet that I had. I didn't want to weed it. So if you ever have something like that, you can slowly peel that up and just put it on a different carrier sheet.
Corey says she had to put a reminder for mirroring her image on her machine.
I've seen that a lot. People will put reminders on their machine. Don't forget to mirror, don't forget to... Yeah, obviously I need that reminder. I've only cut a lot of things on the different machines, but I forgot. On live camera.
Oh, Nikki says the EasyPress isn't sold in the UK yet.
It's not. I'm not sure when it is, but yeah, it's not there yet. Okay, now just the 3 spider ones. I love these spiders. So this banner, we are actually turning into part of a fun backdrop that we're going to be using on Halloween. So you'll just have to stay tuned for what's happening on Halloween. And heads up, boss, now you know what's happening on Halloween. We're doing something on Halloween. So he didn't really know what we were doing on Halloween, but now he will. He'll watch it live with all of you and realize that we were doing something on Halloween. Okay, 2 more. I'm gonna see if I can do these together. That should work.
Marissa is asking what kind of transfer paper you're using.
The question is what kind of transfer paper, but if you're using heat transfer vinyl, it has its own carrier sheet on it. So you cut the one side and the other side is the carrier sheet, which acts as the transfer sheet. So that's what we're using. This is the multi-use paper. If that's what you're seeing, I'm using multi-use paper just to kind of protect the fabric and the EasyPress because I wasn't sure how it would react. It smells like rubber because of what it's made out of, but
Nikki asks, can the HTV carrier sheets be reused in any way?
yeah, you can use them if you want. If you want to hang on to them, I've cut these down, so you have to use it for a small thing. And you can reuse it a couple times. These are the glitter ones, but it's still sticky on the one side. So you could reuse it if you wanted. But if you're gonna cut more heat transfer, unless it's something that you've weeded out, you're gonna cut more heat transfer, it'll come with its own sheet. But you could, if you just hand cut something out of this or used a paper punch to cut something out of this but wanted to use the carrier sheet, then it'll stick right back down and you'll be good. Okay. So now we have that part done. Now the handy dandy glue gun. So I'm gonna line these up. These are the different pieces. And then the spider web pieces. Edge. And spider. And web. And spider. And spider. And web. So how does that look laid out? Do anything need to be rearranged? It'll be separated a little bit once I finally put the ribbon on it. There it is.
They should give us a thumbs up if they like it.
Yeah, if you like how it's laid up, give us a thumbs up. Want to see those thumbs up come up on
Looks
Facebook.
great.
Oh, I can see a few coming up. Need more thumbs up on Facebook. Lots. Lots of them. There we go. There we go. I can see Jessica's computer over there. Lots of thumbs up.
Yay!
Okay, so I went home to get a cord to use for this, and I just had a solid black. And then I came back here and was looking for something similar, and I realized this was in the drawer. How perfect is that?
That's cute.
It's the same colors. We've got the orange, we've got the green, and we've got purple. So this is what I'm going to use for it. And I'm just going to cheat and glue it on. You can be fancy and sew it on if you want. I'm just going to cheat and glue it on. And I kept a little bit of room at the top of each of these where I could. And I'm just going to glue it onto the top. Give a little bit extra there. And way. And just a little bit of glue. Don't burn your finger. Okay, and then the next one.
Oh, okay.
So who has their Halloween decorations out already? I've seen lots of posts on different pages, people that have their Halloween decorations out, so I'm curious who has them out already.
I'm waiting until October 1st.
Jessica's waiting till October 1st, which is only 2 days away, so.
Tanya is just tuning in and said, did you cut the black pieces with the maker?
Yes, Tanya, I did cut them with the maker. It's fun to watch that rotary blade. And if you're just tuning in on Facebook, you can go back once this is published, go back and you can watch it. I did cut these on the maker. And there's no real science to the spacing. I'm just doing 1.5 inches maybe. And if you wanted to be fancy, you could sew it. But for this project, the gluing will work perfect. So I have a question. We've been talking about this a little bit in the creative team. How just over the last several years, how purple has become a Halloween color. What is your favorite Halloween color? Of all the different colors or things for Halloween, what are your favorites?
Purple.
Yeah, purple works well for Halloween. I don't know why it wasn't really a color before.
Orange. Purple and orange.
But this mix of colors is great.
Green. Glow in the dark pink.
Oh, glow in the dark pink. We'll have to try that one.
Stephanie says, love it so pretty, and Nikki says, super cute banner.
It will be fun for our backdrop. So you'll have to tune in on Halloween to see what we did with it. So how many out there on either Facebook or YouTube, how many are tuning in for the first time? We have a lot of first-time viewers today.
Shell.
Michelle and Rachel,
Yay.
Lori, Charlotte.
How many have been here for every single one of them? If you've tuned in on YouTube, how many have been for every single one of them?
There's quite a bit of first timers.
Quite a bit of first timers.
JoAnn Hamilton, I think, everyone so far.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to JoAnn.
Same with Janet Jackson Bennett.
I recognize some of the
Katie
names.
Stephenson.
Okay. See, we're starting to recognize some of your names. You keep joining us, so welcome back.
Tanya is asking if you need a computer to use with the Maker.
Okay, that is a great question. You do need a computer, or you can use your phone. It works with iPhone or Android. There's an iPhone or Android app.
Somebody wants to know what the fabric is again.
Oh, the fabric question is coming up again. It's just vinyl, fabric vinyl, faux leather. It's kind of got a rubbery front and then the reinforced back.
Carol says she's thinking about how close we are as her first order is probably in the building. Behind us.
Yeah, your order is probably right behind us. We can hear them throwing them into the bins for mailing. It's probably right behind us. Almost done.
Oh, I'm a little late with this one, but she says put the half webs at the ends, but I'm too late.
Oh.
You're good. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, sorry, we just got the half webs at the end. Well, one is at the end, the other one is kind of in the middle.
Mackenzie says, can you compare the Maker to the advantages and disadvantages?
Cameo, probably.
Yeah, to Cameo.
The one main difference is the rotary blade, and I'll show you that again in a minute. It's not available on the Cameo, and the Maker has a lot more force and can cut thicker materials with it. But otherwise, you can cut the same similar things, intricate designs, different types of things, imported images to your program. The difference is what the Maker can cut versus the Cameo 3, or whichever Cameo or whichever silhouette you have.
Tracy's favorite colors for Halloween are purple and lime green.
Those two do work really well together, the purple and lime green. Okay, we are about ready.
Last year, I think it was before last Christmas.
Okay, I might need help. I'm gonna stand over there.
Stretching it out.
Yeah, so you can see the whole thing.
It's so cute.
There's the whole thing.
That is way cute.
Spooky.
So there's our finished banner. What do you guys think? Yay, nay? Well, we can't change it now. But
There's some likes. Darling. Looks cute. Turned out really good. Great job. That is adorable. Love it.
see how easy
Super
it is? You
cute,
can all go
cute,
home and
cute.
make the same thing too. Just cut some fabric
This
banners.
is beautiful.
It's beautiful.
I love the Caesar glitter. Oh, it's so
Yeah,
pretty.
cut some fabric for your own banner, but the glitter just adds to it. I love the glitter. There's all
What font did you use?
the font that I used on this is called Beyond the Mountains, and it was from, I believe that one's from DeFont. It was Beyond the Mountains, and one hazard of hot glue. Glue all over your fingers, but when you're making something pretty, it doesn't matter. You can suffer for the art a little bit. So if you liked it, share it with your friends. Yeah, give us a thumbs up. Put in the comments. As soon as it goes live on YouTube, put in the comments of anything that you want to see us make, and we could probably incorporate it into one of our Vinyl Fridays. We're going to be doing these every Friday, unless we aren't open on a Friday, which is very rare, but on every Friday at 2 p.m. right now. So join us. It'll be over at YouTube, and sometimes we'll throw in Facebook on that, but every Friday at 2 p.m. Mountain Time on YouTube. So subscribe to the channel so that you can always get the updates from when we're live. Were there any other questions?
Will you just do a quick recap of everything you did?
Oh, okay. Just a quick recap of what I did. I had this faux leather that I cut out on the Maker with the rotary blade. Oh, I was going to show that for someone. Excuse my glue-covered fingers, but there's the rotary blade. And I cut the banner pieces out with that. And then I switched it. I had the regular blade that I used to cut the vinyl with, the heat transfer vinyl. And I cut the webs and spider and all that with the regular blade. And then use the EasyPress over here to iron it onto the pieces. And if you didn't see if you've got an EasyPress and you don't have the silicone mat that Cricut's gonna have eventually, my little hack, because I needed something that day, and it's just a piece of wood underneath there. And this is a Teflon sheet that I just folded around it. And duct tape works for everything. Wrapped it like a present, but that's what I used to iron it on. So I didn't have to worry about a different surface. But that was my ironing spots. So we ended up with this fun.
Would you only use
Spooky
the rotary blade on fabric?
The question is if I would only use the rotary blade on fabric, and yes, I would only use it on fabric. It's going to work best on fabric. You'll want to use the regular blade, or if you're cutting really thick materials, there will be a knife blade soon, mid-October I believe, that has the gear on it as well, and that helps with the turning and the different force, but the knife blade will be out mid-October, I think. I could be wrong on that date, so don't hold me to it, but the knife blade as well. So thank you everyone for joining in. Hope you had a good time, and next week, 2 p.m. Who's doing it next week? Oh, Amy. She's behind the camera. Amy's doing it next week. There's her hand. So she will be doing Final Friday next week. So have a good day, everybody. Thank you, Cricut.